Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. So for today's video, I'm going to be sharing everything I am doing this time around to prepare myself mentally and physically to have a successful natural birth. For me, when I say natural birth, I mean unmedicated and no interventions, C-section, anything like that. I want to start off by saying two very important things. However you bring your baby into the world, it's fine. Everything is personal, and I know sometimes you don't have a choice. Whatever the case is, any way you bring your baby into this world so that you and baby are healthy, that's what's most important. And I also want to say I am not a provider or a midwife or anything of the sort. So before taking any of my recommendations, please consult with your doctor or midwife, whoever you are seeking prenatal care with. Because again, I am not a doctor. This is just the things that I did with my first pregnancy that led me to have a very successful, natural, unmedicated labor and delivery. And I'm hoping to get the same result this time. So just wanted to throw that in there, those two very important things, and we will just go ahead and jump right in. So the first thing that I do to prepare for a natural labor and delivery is drink organic red raspberry leaf tea. This is which one I use, if it would focus. There we go. This is which one I use. I use this one with my daughter as well, so I'm using it again this time around. It comes in little packs like this, and you just boil some water and put a bag in there, cover it and let it seep for like 10-15 minutes, and then you drink it. So I start those around 26, 27, 28 weeks, just around there when you're starting to enter into your third trimester. And what I like to do is I will start with one bag of tea. So again, exactly how I described how you make it. You want to let it steep for a little bit. And then I will drink 1 cup, and then around like 34, 35 weeks, I will go to 2 cups to about 37 weeks. Even though research shows that it doesn't necessarily put you into labor, I am very cautious that it's a uterine tonic. So I don't want to go like crazy. Some people do your own research, but for me, that is what I am comfortable with. And again, what I did the first time around. So I start with 1 bag, wait till I'm about 34, 35 weeks, move to 2 bags, and then once I am full term, which is what my doctor considers 37 weeks, I will start drinking 3 bags a day. And at that point, what I do is I just make a big pot in the morning, and then I will actually just drink it all day over ice. So it's just something I sip on. But that is the first thing that I don't know, again, if any of this stuff is 100%, but I really swear that this works. And even with my bleeding, which again, I don't want to give too much like medical information or anything on why I do this stuff. I want you to do your own research and then conclude if you feel comfortable doing it or not. But it also is supposed to help with afterbirth bleeding because it is a uterine tonic, so it makes your uterus contract more strongly and more efficiently. And so after birth, when you're bleeding and all of that, it's supposed to help your uterus shrink back down and not cause as much bleeding. And I will say my midwife the first time around said I had very minimal bleeding. So I don't know if I just am that type of person or if it was the tea, but I did do that in my first pregnancy, and I'm doing that again this time to prepare for a natural labor and delivery. So my second tip to prepare for a natural unmedicated labor and delivery is to have your body ready, and to do that by using a yoga ball. So I mentioned in my second trimester symptoms video that I was having really bad like tailbone pain. I still am. It went away for a few weeks and it came back like full force about a week ago. I can barely walk. So sitting on a yoga ball really, really helps. But for labor and delivery wise, it also helps baby engage in the correct position. Now there is something that you really need to pay attention to before using just any yoga ball is your position when sitting on it. So if your yoga ball is too small for you and too close to the ground and you're, tall or whatever, and your knees are like higher up than your pelvis, it's not going to work in your benefit towards the baby. Your knees need to be like 90-degree angle with your body or lower. You don't want your knees high up because then it discourages baby from getting down into position. But towards the end of my pregnancy, I sit on it the whole time, and then once I'm closer to full term, again like 36, 37 weeks, I really make sure I am doing exercises on it. So I will do like circles, I will bounce. I'm actually sitting on it right now because that's the only way I can sit. But you can just look up a YouTube video on engaging the baby in your pelvis using a yoga ball, and tons of things will pop up. Yeah, it can't hurt and it feels good. It kind of stretches everything out because you definitely don't want to go into labor tense or like with a tight pelvis or anything like that, because it's going to cause more pain and just more tension when you really need to try and relax and focus on opening up, especially for a natural delivery. I'm so out of breath. It like went away and came back this week, So the third thing that I will be doing this time is using evening primrose oil. Now currently I am 34 weeks. Well, I turn 34 tomorrow, so I'm almost 34 weeks. So I have not started this yet. You can, again, do your own research because some people start it earlier than that. I don't feel comfortable with that. But once it gets closer, so like 38-ish weeks, I started with my first child, you can insert it vaginally or take it orally. I believe I only took it vaginally with my daughter, which is what I'm going to do this time. So it sounds so crazy, but you just get the pills and you pop like a little hole in it, then you insert it, and it's supposed to soften your cervix. So I'm going to go ahead and read a few little things on why I do it, and again, use your judgment if you feel comfortable doing this, or ask your doctor, of course. Don't just go off what I'm saying, but this is what I was kind of told and why I decided to try it my first time around, and we'll be doing it again this time. So it says the oil from the primrose plant contains linolenic acid, I'm terrible with pronunciation, gamma linolenic acid, and vitamin E. It says the standard dose is normally 500 to 2,000 milligrams daily after the 38th week of pregnancy, which again, that is what I did the first time. I don't take it any earlier than that. I just don't feel comfortable with that. You always want to start with very low doses. According to American Family Physicians, evening primrose oil may help the cervix to soften and efface. So if you don't know what effacement is, you need to be 100% effaced to have your baby, which is just like the thinning of your cervix. So basically it needs to be paper thin. You know, you can go from 0, which is full thickness, and again, all the way to 100, which is completely thinned out. So again, use your own medical advice and ask your provider before doing that, and wait till you're 38 weeks pregnant. But that is something I will be doing this time around to prepare myself for labor and delivery. The fourth tip that I have to prepare yourself for labor and delivery is to walk daily. This is something I've actually been really slacking on this pregnancy. Well, like towards the end, I was doing really well until this tailbone pain came, and just no matter what I do, like it will not go away. So it's very uncomfortable to walk. I am still trying, and I am still chasing another young child around, so I'm getting in some exercise when I can, but I think it's so important to walk if you are able. It not only helps the baby to stay, you know, like engaged and drop when you're further in pregnancy, but also just helps you stay in shape. You'll hear a lot of people, if you've been watching these videos, like about having a natural labor and delivery, or even your provider might have told you, because mine always put it this way, but you wouldn't run a marathon without training, and labor is the same way. It's going to be mentally and physically the hardest thing you've ever done, at least for me. And the first time around, I was really in shape, and I swear it's because I walked like 2.5 3 miles a day. So once I did get into labor, the physical part wasn't really a problem. It was more like the mental that became a struggle to, you know, keep under control. But walking, I just feel like, is overall good for your body. It keeps everything loose, because again, you don't want any tension or tightness or anything putting extra straining on your body during labor and delivery. So walking is just super important. So the fifth thing I have is actually reading a book. It's called Anime's Guide to Childbirth, I believe. It's in my bedroom, and my little one is sleeping near there, so I don't want to go get it, but I'll insert a picture for you. It's like a pink little book, and it starts off by having positive birth stories the first half, and then after that, more like medical type things. But basically, it's like a really hippie midwife, like I hate to say that, but she's awesome, and she delivers babies on something called her farm. So it just puts you in the mindset that thousands or millions of women are doing this naturally, and they're okay, and they're fine, and they'll do it again. And a lot of them even say that it was like euphoric for them. So it just really puts you in the mental state of, I can do this too. And during labor, you'll think of those stories. Or what I did was I went through and highlighted at my first pregnancy. So this time around, if I don't feel like reading a whole chapter, just that night, I'll go ahead and open it, look through, read the highlights that I put in there, the little notes I made, just to put myself in that mindset. Because going for a natural unmedicated labor is a huge mind game. I talked about the walking, which is like the physical part, but mentally you really have to want it. You really have to know how to stay calm, and you need to find things that put you in that calm zone or make you feel confident in your labor, in your body, because during it, like I said, you don't want to be tense, you don't want to be questioning things, you don't want to be like, oh my God, you know, like anything like that. You need to try and stay relaxed so that your body can open up and do its thing. And that book really goes into great detail on how to do that and why your body is made to do this, how it can open up, and little tips and tricks on things that might close your body, like your cervix, and stop your progression, for things that are going to encourage your body to open up, baby to come down, and for labor and delivery to keep going smoothly. So that is a huge help, and one of the top things I recommend to any of my friends or family that want to have a natural, unmedicated birth. Like, the first thing I say is that book, because mentally it just puts you in such a good mindset going in. And again, there's things you can bring it with you to the hospital or birthing center or home, whatever, just to flip through and get some encouragement during your labor and delivery. Okay, so the last thing that I am doing this time around to prepare myself again is to create a hypnobirthing playlist. So with my first, I really wanted to get into hypnobirthing, but I never did. I never really made time for it, but I don't know, I just didn't get into it. But this time around, I'm actually having a harder time getting in the mindset of having a natural unmedicated birth. I think it's because I remember the first time, so I kind of know what to expect. That whole thing of ignorance is bliss is so key and so important in labor and delivery, but I mean, I can't go back. Like, I already know what to expect. So that's kind of like coming into my mind a lot when I'm trying to relax or focus. So I did start creating a hypnobirthing track, or like a playlist, and I just listen to a track every night. I never make it through them because they put me to sleep, but it does, like right before I go to sleep, I'll read my book, have my tea, and then I'll listen to that, and it just makes me fall asleep in like a really zen. I kind of picture like a really positive birth experience. And then I'm hoping to, while I'm in labor, if I have enough time, my first went so fast that I wouldn't have even had time to listen to a track, I don't think. Like, by the time we made it to the hospital, they were checking me, moving me to a room. I was begging to push. They didn't believe me. I was 9 cents. Like, it went so fast. But this time, in case it doesn't go that fast, I will have that playlist to kind of guide me through the meditation during contractions, keep me calm. And between that and the book, I'm hoping mentally I am good to go. So again, I just can't stress enough, your mental state and wanting a natural and unmedicated birth is so important. So anything that feeds you like zen and calmness, makes you feel like you can do it, do that. For me, the hypnobirthing I think is really starting to work, and I could see me using that during labor and along with the book. So that is something that I am adding this time around to prepare myself. So overall, those are my 6 tips on preparing yourself for a natural, unmedicated labor and delivery. Again, I want to say you do not need to have an unmedicated birth to be successful as a woman or a mother or anything. Like you being pregnant and bringing your baby into this world safe is all that matters. Your health, your baby's health, that's the most important thing. I just chose to do it this way for my own reasons, which is another thing. Have your reasons. Sorry, I'm like all over the place, but have your set reasons, because if you don't have a reason you're doing it, you're going to give in at the end, because you're good, and then transition will hit, and you need to stick to your reasons of why you want an unmedicated natural labor and delivery. So that's a little bonus point I want to throw in there. But yeah, these are just all of my tips on how to prepare yourself, just staying active, hydrated, stretching, making sure your pelvis is open and you're doing the right things to help baby engage and encourage them to get into a good position, as well as focusing on your mental state. That's really all you can do. And again, the red raspberry, I'll be doing the primrose oil. And yeah, I'm hoping that it works this time. If it doesn't, that is okay. I told my husband, you know, I'm just gonna take it contraction by contraction and pray for a great outcome. But overall, I just want my baby and I to be safe and healthy. So if this video helped you, I would love it if you would please subscribe to my channel, like this video, leave me a comment down below. And yeah, I will just see you in my next video, which I have a bunch coming. I have my baby shower Saturday, got some more baby clothes on, postpartum stuff. So now I'm just trying to find the time and energy to sit down, start packing things, nesting, you know, washing clothes, all of that. So I'll be filming all of that, uploading it, as well as like symptoms and doctor's appointments. So be on the lookout for that, and I will see you in my next video. Bye.